Okay, so if you're looking to improve your vocabulary for the IELTS exam, you're going to want to keep watching this, because what we're doing is we're looking at one really simple way of learning English words that will help them stick in your brain for a longer time. So a lot of people don't realize that many English words are actually made up of multiple parts that hold meaning, that are stuck together. And by learning some of these little parts of words, we can actually remember words far easier, because we're not just trying to pull the meaning out of nowhere. We're remembering what the specific bits of those words are and what they mean. And one thing that's really good about these words that are made up from multiple bits, a lot of them come from Latin or Greek, and they end up being quite good formal IELTS words that will help you get a higher score in the vocabulary section. These aren't usually basic words. So these words are easy to remember because they all share the same parts, and they're also really good IELTS words. So let's jump in and take a look at some of them. So the words I want to have a look at today all begin with super. Now, the most common word with super in the English language is Superman. And super means above or over in all of these words. And so with Superman, his powers, his abilities are over what you might expect the normal person to have. So Superman, above man, over man. He's kind of stronger. He's better than all of the people around him. He's over the top of them. Now, Superman probably isn't a very useful word for your IELTS exam. So let's take a look at some that you'll actually be able to use. This first word is used to describe something that is better than the things around it. Or you can think of it as being over or higher in quality than the things around it. And this word is superior. So in the exam, you might talk about one product being superior to another, or a person being superior to another. This one is a more formal term than better. And so this might be the superior choice to make when you're picking a word in the IELTS exam. Word number 2 in our list is for when you are taking a look over someone's work, and that word is supervise. So you might kind of imagine someone peeking over your shoulder, keeping an eye on what you're doing at work, or maybe in the classroom. They're supervising you. They're looking over what you are doing. Now, another word that's very closely related to this one is supervisor, which is a more formal way of saying boss. So if you want to talk about your boss in especially the IELTS writing, but maybe in the IELTS speaking as well, you can say a supervisor instead of boss to have that meaning. Word number 3 on our list is supernatural. And you probably already know the word natural. It's like things that are out there in the world. So if something is supernatural, it's kind of over or outside of what normally happens. So we might use supernatural to describe things like wizards or witches or ghosts or any of these things that aren't really part of the normal world as we know it. Word 4 is superficial, and if something or someone is superficial, it's very surface level. So when you first hear surface level, it doesn't sound like it has anything to do with being above, but you have to remember the surface is the level of, say, a body of water that is over all of the others. And so if someone is surface level or if someone is superficial, they're not really interested in going in depth into things. So if you say a book is very superficial, you might mean that the writing or what they say in it don't go into a lot of detail. If a person is superficial, we often mean they are only interested in how things appear, and they're not really interested in going into more depth, especially with people, but with all sorts of other things as well. So for example, with products they buy, they might only be interested in very good looking shiny products and not really care about how high the quality of that product is. The final word is a verb, and it's supersede. Now, if something supersedes something else, it is a new thing that replaces that thing. And you can kind of think of it as going over that thing and covering up that thing, kind of taking the place of that thing. And so supersede we often use with things like rules and things like new pieces of technology. So I'm filming this on a digital camera right now, and you might say, oh, well, digital photography has superseded film photography because it's very rare for anyone to shoot film now. Everyone shoots on a digital camera. If you have a new set of rules for something that replace an old set of rules, you can also say those rules have superseded the old rules. Okay, so that's 5 new words that all start with super, and you can remember them very easily. Anytime you hear super at the start of a word, something is over something else. So if you found that useful, do hit like and subscribe. This is the first time doing a vocab post, so if you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below and let me know. If you know any other words that begin with super, put them down in the comments. Let me see. See you soon.